Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Eric Paxton, and I would like to go ahead and welcome you to this video we're going to do on FTH 202 Week 3 assignment. And it is going to be over the revolver that we have received from the Sonoran Desert Institute. And we've gone ahead and removed all the screws from it. You can see that the firearm is in fact clear. There's no cylinder in it, and nothing in the chamber. Go ahead and show you the cylinder as well. Cylinder is completely empty. All chambers are completely empty, and there is no fire or no ammunition present in the workspace. So we'll go ahead and take our hammer, take the wooden handle, and tap on the hand grip, removing the side plate. And we're going to go over some of the parts that are internal of the firearm here, and what malfunctions you might expect to experience should those start to wear down. And first off, we have the hand, which is, if you see it, is this silver piece right here. If we look inside, it protrudes just down here in this little slot right here. And what happens when you pull the hammer back, you notice that thing goes in and then will ride up. What it is doing when it goes in and riding up is catching the surface of the ratchet pad here and pushing the cylinder around. If that thing should fail to function, like it's broken or the ratchet pad is messed up and the hand is not engaging, then you're going to have a failure to chamber, and thus a failure to fire, because it will not have a live round in the chamber. Let's see. The second is the sear, which is right here inside this piece right here. It's right here. And what happens with that is when the trigger is pulled, you'll notice that piece pushes out and up on the hammer, and then it will engage the hammer and lock it in place. Should that particular piece fail to work and not be doing its job, it's not going to push on the hammer and lock it in place. Thus you'll have a failure to fire, because the hammer will not cock, and it will not fire because it is not in the set position to fire. Next would be the cylinder stop, which rests right under here. And what it does is it protrudes slightly upward and through this little slot right here, and it engages the notches on the cylinder, which are these little lines you see right here. And it locks the cylinder in place once the cylinder has rotated into the position where the next live round is ready to be chambered and fired. Should that thing not work, your cylinder is going to free spin, and every time you pull the trigger, you might hit a round, you might hit the side of the cylinder. Thus you're going to have a failure to fire and a failure to lock. And either one of those could be very bad to the firing pin, the hammer, and all the associated parts could be easily broken. Last and not least is the hammer strut, which is right here. It's the center pin that goes through the main spring. Should that break, it could do a couple of things. It could jam the hammer up and not allow it to come to the rear. Or if it doesn't jam the hammer up and come to the rear, when the hammer goes back and you pull the trigger, there's going to be nothing to push the hammer forward to make it strike the transfer bar and then the firing pin, thus a failure to fire. So that is what we have for the first part. We're going to pause this video and come back with the second portion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now what we're going to do next is we're going to take our cleaning rod with the flag that we've attached using painter's tape, and our 38 special bore brush, and our clear firearm, which we will go ahead and flip the camera around and show you that now. We have the firearm setting in our vise block with the empty chamber, no cylinder present, and we will go ahead and set up our camera right over here. so that you can bear witness to what is about to go down. Alright, we'll place that right there. Now we're going to take our brush here with our flag attached, and we're going to insert that into the muzzle end of our firearm right here, and we're going to push it through. And on the way back we'll count those rotations. Okay, so that is about 1 rotation there in a 2-inch barrel, which was fairly expected due to the size of the barrel and it being fair. The rotation of the barrel is nice to know for the fact that when you are using different types of ammunition, it will give you an idea of how accurate it's going to be, because the faster the bullet is going through there, the faster it's going to spin when it comes to the rifling. And given the twist rate that you have for that firearm, it will tell you exactly kind of a ballpark of how accurate you should expect it to be, because the faster the bullet, the faster it's going to spin, and you know, that gyroscopic stabilization is what keeps it locked in. And the twist rate for that one, from what I was seeing on my flag here, in a 2-inch barrel, it turned about 1.5 times. So it's a, you know, 1 in 1 is what I would call it, because it's such a short barrel.